Welcome to MAC Conference Basketball. Tonight from the Anatelli Center in Jersey City on the campus of St. Peter's College. It's the St. Peter's Peacocks taking on the LaSalle Explorers. Well, hi again, everybody. I'm Barry Landers along with Whitey Rigsby. You know, Whitey, over the years, LaSalle has dominated the MAC Conference, but one team has given them more trouble than anybody else. That's the St. Peter's Ball Club.
Yeah, Barry, if there was ever a situation for revenge, it is tonight, because last year St. Peter's beat LaSalle 3 times, as opposed to over the past years in the MAC Conference, LaSalle has dominated, but the only team to beat them during that long stretch was St. Peter's.
Let's talk about the LaSalle Explorers, because they come in a hot ball club. They lost to Notre Dame. They've won 4 of their previous 5 games, come off 2 wins up in Buffalo. They're shooting very well. They're an all-around excellent ball club.
LaSalle is a very good team. They lost Doug Overton from last year's Explorer squad, but Jack Hurd and Randy Woods are really doing it. Very important for them tonight to execute their half-court offense, because as Speedy said, no free lunches against St. Peter's defense.
Well, Jack Hurd certainly has been lighting it up. He's a red-hot player, MAC Co-Conference Player of the Week last week.
Jack Hurd's averaging 25 points a game over the last 5 ball games, 61% from the three-point line. There's not a hotter offensive player in the country than Jack Hurd right now. Again, has a bad right ankle, might slow him a little bit.
Well, the St. Peter's Peacocks have struggled offensively. They're the lowest scoring team in the MAC, yet they're a tough defensive team. They've had trouble chemistry-wise. They won 4 in a row. Most recently, they've dropped 2 in a row.
Yeah, they really are committed to Ted Fiore and the typical St. Peter's defense. They just haven't got it down yet. They haven't perfected it. They're giving up 8 points a game more this season than last season. Probably more talented players than their MAC Conference championship team of a year ago, but they just haven't really put it all together yet.
Well, Philadelphia native Chuck Veterano's been playing well. So is newcomer Scott Whedon, but they're not getting much from the backcourt, particularly a guy they counted on, Antoine Allen.
People might say, why would you highlight Antoine Allen when he's not having a very good season so far? But Antoine Allen's a key guy in this game because he has to play Randy Woods. He switched from the 2-guard to the point, and he's the glue that holds this team together. If they fall apart, the glue broke.
Well, if history repeats, should be an interesting confrontation. Whitey and I will be back with the start of tonight's game in just a moment.
Imagine being born with the ability to meet any challenge expertly. That's the wonder of the new Maxim XI from Minolta. With the experience of professionals programmed right in, it responds to any change of speed, or light, or distance automatically for ultimate performance. The new Maxim XI, born experienced.
Only from the mind of Minolta.
Andy Griffith.
Golly.
He's ready to clean up the military.
We call it the latrine. Latrine. You might say it's the captain's hobby. He inspects it every chance he gets.
From country bumpkin to Air Force recruit, he's the man in charge.
In charge?
Lose some of these close games, something they didn't do last year and in the past years when they won a majority of real close games.
Yeah, well, they had a somewhat senior-dominated team last year, and generally with seniors and experienced players, you're not going to lose those close games. You're going to win them at the end. But again, Ted Fiore this season has not done, his players haven't perfected, as we said, his defense. You see over the years, LaSalle leads 11-8. What that shows is early on, St. Peter's won a lot of games.
Well, Ted Fiore has won 4 of the 11 games that he's been matched up against. Speedy Morris, those 2 guys coming to the league at the same time. They've been here 6 years in very similar type backgrounds.
And very similar type records. I mean, Speedy has a lot of championships, Ted with just 1 from last season, but they both were longtime high school coaches, very successful high school coaches, kind of got started in the NCAA a little bit late in life. Both terrific guys. Both teams' players think the world of them.
Well, you can see St. Peter's, who last year didn't do a lot of juggling, has had to do a lot of juggling, particularly in the backcourt, where they really haven't gotten any real solid play from anybody, including Antoine Allen. And Speedy Morris hoping that will continue tonight, because his 2 big stars have struggled when they've played against this fine St. Peter's team. Jack Hurd and Randy Woods have not played well, especially last year, against this team. Let's go to the starting lineups right now, and here's PA announcer Fred Rowland.
The Peacocks of St. Peter's College playing host to the Explorers of LaSalle University. Let's meet the star lineups for LaSalle University. At forward, a 6'6" senior from Lidditz, Pennsylvania, number 25, Jack Hurd. At forward, a 6'8" senior from Bangor, Pennsylvania, number 51, Ron Holland. At center, a 6'9" senior from Amsterdam, Netherlands, number 44, Milko Lievers. At guard, a 6-foot senior from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, number 14, Randy Woods. And rounding out the Explorers starting lineup at guard, a 6'4" junior from Slidell, Louisiana, number 24, Jeff Neubauer. The head coach of the LaSalle University Explorers, William Speedy Morris. Introducing the Peacocks of St. Peter's. At forward, a 6'7" junior from Seattle, Washington, number 3, Scott Whedon. At forward, a 6'7" freshman from Waterbury, Connecticut, number 14, Haran Ramey. At center, a 6'8" senior from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, number 52, Chuck Veterano. At guard, a 6-foot sophomore from Lindy, New Jersey, number 12, Antoine Allen. Rounding out the Peacock starting lineup at guard, a 6-foot freshman from the Bronx, New York, number 23, Joe Outlaw. The head coach of the St. Peter Stars Peacocks is Ted Fiore.
We'll be back with the start of tonight's game in just a moment.
Welcome back to What's That Smell, the show that makes dollars out of cents. It's a very exciting match today, so next object,
So,
sniff.
what do you think?
No, Larry?
Card dice.
Now, this set has a real simulated wood grain cabinet with a locking triple view.
If you think HBO is just the best movies, think about this.
Instant credit program.
I'm watching something.
You get the biggest names in the business creating TV's boldest original entertainment, along with Hollywood blockbusters that rock the box office.
That does look good, doesn't it?
And if you like movies, be sure to add Cinemax.
Call 1-800-CABLE-ME and get cable installed for as little as $3.95 when you order HBO or Cinemax. That's right, only $3.95. Call 1-800-CABLE-ME today.
That is great.
Plus a $20 gift certificate and catalog free from Spiegel. Call now.
I got a call. Do you know where the phones are?
Phones are on too.
HBO. Get to your phone and call now.
Nice sell, Sparky.
Back in Jersey City, Barry Landers along with Whitey Rigsby as we get set for this MAC showdown. St. Peter's coming in 1-1, and LaSalle so far in league play 3-1 as the Explorers lost their opening game to Siena 68-65 on a three-point shot by Bennerman, the outstanding point guard of Siena. Then came back with a tremendous victory over Iona. That was a game that Speedy Morris didn't coach. Joe Mihalik took over, and they played great basketball.
Yeah, I was with Speedy the other day, and I asked him how he's feeling and all that kind of jazz. He says, oh, fine, I have no problem with my heart. I said, Speedy, if I was you, I would have been happy just to find out you had a heart.
And they came up with big wins last week in Buffalo. So we're underway. St. Peter's, who got off to a great start against Iona, then fizzled in the second half, wins the tip. We'll identify the players as we go. Antoine Allen is 12. 23 is freshman JoJo Outlaw, starting for only the second time this season.
So he'll work on the ball and move Antoine Allen to his natural 2 position.
And they'll swing it outside. Now the pass thrown away that time. Thrown away, and now back comes LaSalle, opening up with a Jack Hurd jumper. And the rebound pulled down by the lefty, the newcomer in the lineup, Haroon Ramey, the freshman out of Connecticut, Waterbury, Connecticut. And out of bounds, Jack Hurd forcing the turnover. Antoine Allen, who's been a little turnover prone lately, losing the ball there.
He's averaging 4 turnovers a game, and Jack Hurd's not the kind of player who's generally going to take the ball from you in the open floor like that.
Allen has had 17 turnovers in his last 4 ball games. Inside pass, Randy Woods. And we have a foul called underneath by one of our officials, Leroy Hendricks, the gentleman you see in your picture in a moment. The other officials, the referee is Ron Foxcroft. And the umpires, John Letcher and Leroy Hendricks.
One of the matchups we were talking about in the preview there was about Woods and Antoine Allen. Allen's playing Neubauer, and Haroon Ramey's playing Woods. And right from the beginning, there's a little physical contact. That's going to be a very interesting matchup to watch.
They set the pick for Randy Woods, and he misses the ball, tipped around and recovered by St. Peter's, and a foul will be called on the milkman, Milko Lievers, who's really come into his own. Very pleased to Speedy Morris with his development.
Very enthusiastic, excitable player, plays hard, and you know, Speedy gets everything out of him that he could possibly get out of that kid. And same thing with Bron Holland. It gives him a lot inside, a lot of bulk.
St. Peter's not shooting well from the field this year, 44%. Ramey tries to go inside, kicked out by Leavehurst. Leavehurst and Holland, a couple of big guys, physical players, and they've improved the inside scoring game of this team. That's Whedon, who's been playing very consistent basketball, along with Chuck Veterano. Allen will slow it down. St. Peter's wants a slower pace here. They want a game in the 60s or 70s, not in the 80s, as Whedon misses the outside shot. Both teams a little cold in the early going. Randy Woods working on the freshman Outlaw, and he's missed a couple of shots early. LaSalle cold in the early going here. They were blown out last year when they played up here. That's Chuck Veterano from Philadelphia. Normally plays inside, and he'll go inside now. Motion offense being employed. Veterano, good outside shooter as well, and he hits the three.
Veterano is a scorer. He can score from inside, but he certainly can score. As you see, he stepped out to about 17 feet there, and he can shoot the ball. He's a guy that Speedy's real concerned about, coming out and really lighting it up.
He's 7 for 11 from three-point range, Veterano, the 6'8" captain. Knocked away, and Holland will recover. All over him there. Good defense by Ramey, and a foul will be called on Chuck Veterano. You know, Chuck knows this game is being shown back in Philadelphia, and he knows a lot of these guys from the playground to the schoolyard.
I'm sure he's played with a lot of them, I'm sure, and he wants to stay on the floor. And another key might be to this ballgame is Veterano staying on the floor. He certainly cannot afford to get in foul trouble.
Hurd, nice entry pass, and Randy Woods flashes right to the ball.
That kind of thing breaks your back. We saw that last night up in very cold Niagara Falls. You don't want to give the other team the ball in the lane right from the inbound pass.
So Randy Woods leading the league in scoring, averaging 27 points. Now 1 for 3 from the field. And we're tied at 2. Allen over to the lefty, Ramey, the freshman, who had 16 points against Iona. He's a very quick player. Good pass inside. Veterano will miss. And Holland boxing out well, gets it up court to Jack Hurd.
See how far out Ramey has to play Woods. Woods really has no limitations to his range on his shot.
Hurd tightly guarded. Look at how tightly guarded he is by Scott Whedon. And Whedon knocks it. You can't let Jack Hurd be open. He can't shoot that well off the dribble, but you give him a pick, he's deadly.
Yeah, and the same thing with, he has no range. There's no limit to how far out he can move. Whedon's going to have to play him as far as 25 feet or so from the basket. For the most part, Hurd's not going to beat him on the dribble.
Woods got the pick. Jojo Outlaw, very good defensive play. He's muscular. He could play with Randy Woods. Physically, he matches up, although experience-wise, he doesn't.
Well, but physically, that's why Ted Fiore's starting him today.
He started the other night against Iona, only his second start. Neubauer, with the clock running down, gets the roll.
Now, if Neubauer can get some offense, and they have to force Antoine Allen to play him straight, it'll affect Antoine's trying to help out at all on Woods and Hurd.
Neubauer doesn't shoot much, but he makes very few mistakes out there. He plays a clean point guard. Whedon, good shooter. Hurd playing him tightly. He knows he's a good outside shooter. And that's something you don't want if you're Speedy Morris to see. Jack Hurd has a tendency for those reach-in fouls.
And you don't want one of your star scorers fouling 30 feet from the basket.
That was a problem Hurd had earlier in his career. It's the second team foul and first foul on Hurd. St. Peter's down 4-2. As we mentioned, they got off to a great start the other night against Iona. Led 22-12. Veterano stumbling in the lane and gets called for the travel. Good call by the official.
That's twice.
The basket.
When Veterano gets the ball in the post, twice he turned around and was open. He should go straight up and shoot the ball. He's trying to improve his position, but last time he floated in, took an off-balance shot. That time he traveled.
35 turnovers already for Veterano. Quite a few. Bad pass that time by Neubauer. And St. Peter's looking to break. Outlaw on the charge. And another freshman mistake there. They had the 3-on-1 break, and they get nothing out of it.
Talk about a terrific play. How about Neubauer's playing? A smart, intelligent player. Does not turn the ball over much. That time he turned it over and immediately got it back. You see him immediately establish position. Woods went by, just take the hit. I mean, that takes a little bit of guts. Just stand there and get pounded.
Comes a long way from Slidell, Louisiana. One of the very few players not from the Philadelphia area. Randy Woods falling down. His outside shot not working tonight. Again, St. Peter's running. Blocked by Hurd. And Outlaw looks up and says, hey, how did that guy come from there? Time out on the floor. We'll be right back.
Forward, yes. Albany, the capital of New York State, in the capital Saratoga region, discover its many advantages. From historical architecture to today's futuristic Empire State Plaza. Join us for our many family events and festivals along the scenic Hudson River. Professional sports abound and are one of the many year-round attractions. Or spend an evening enjoying the performing arts, from Broadway quality shows to symphony orchestras. Be our guest. For information, call 1-800-622-8464.
You can see the spirit in every smiling face. It's people that make the difference across the USA. Every time we fly, every mile of sky, everything we do, USA begins with you.
Great glasses. Thanks. Everyone likes my glasses, but they weigh a ton. You don't have to put up with heavy glasses anymore. Because at LensCrafters, we have so many new ways to make glasses more comfortable.
Introducing LensCrafters exclusive featherweights. So much lighter, so much slimmer, and oh so comfortable. Featherweights for that cushion of comfort you've always wanted.
I never knew glasses could be this comfortable.
LensCrafters exclusive featherweights, lighter weight for greater comfort. In about an hour.
Sometimes block shots are from great athletic ability, other times from just great timing. There you had timing. Jack Hurd's not going to get a whole lot of block shots based on his just flat-out jumping ability, but timing is very important in rebounding as well as blocking shots.
Speedy Morris says one area we've got to improve on is our defense. And St. Peter's turning it over right there. Woods over to Hurd. And that's the way he's been shooting lately. Dead eye Jack Hurd.
Again, you leave Jack Hurd open, that's going to put Ted Fiore in the nut house quick. You can't leave him open because he'll just drill those all day and night. The guy shoots 61% from the three-point line the last 5 ball games.
He's playing the way he did as a freshman when he had a great percentage. And the freshman, Joe Outlaw from the corner. Outlaw getting his actually second start, averaging only 2 points a ball game. Played around 13 minutes a game. Holland with tough defense by Ramey. Powers his way in and left-hands it in.
Because I think any points that Bron Holland and Wilco Liebers give to Speedy Morris is a plus. And Bron Holland, he'll do that. That keeps his defender honest.
He's averaging 8 points, Holland. Shooting well from the field, 54%. Ramey in the corner. Peters has shot better from 3-point range this year than they have pretty much from 2-point range. Skip pass. The defense.
Last time we saw St. Peter's, Whedon was such a big factor in their offense. He's been handling the ball some, but not even looking for his own shot.
Well, Veterano has a bucket, and Outlaw has a bucket. That's all they've scored in 5.5 minutes here. Veterano will try that same corner. Whedon gets the rebound, battles for possession, and comes out with it. Ramey from the corner, way off. And Woods will push it up.
Woods will rebound. He'll get a bunch of rebounds.
Hurd again for 3.
It's a shame we couldn't get Ted Fiore on the sideline that time. You see him running somebody out there right away.
Hurd has hit 41 3-pointers so far, and this is only the 12th game of the year. Outlaw missing the 3-pointer, and he hustles the rebound down. Whedon stripped to the ball by Randy Woods, who averages 2 assists a game, and Jack Hurd finishes the play. And it's a 14-4 lead here early.
That's a 2-0 fast break there. Woods held the ball just long enough to make the defender commit himself to him, dished off to Jack Hurd for the easy bucket.
Turnovers again plaguing St. Peter's. Heard him the other night against Iona. Whedon, who has not been getting his shot off. Open now will take that shot, that push set shot. Ramey, good rebound in the lane, goes up and gets fouled and counts the basket.
Jeff Neubauer reaching in. One thing St. Peter's doing a pretty good job with, Barry's getting offense on glass. It's a pretty good play. Ramey back over the left hand. Sometimes that left hand confusing. Here's a steal by Randy Woods. Woods is so quick, such a good defender, man-on-man or teamwork. See him, he forces Antoine Allen to commit himself. Once he makes that one step, dishes the ball off.
Scott Whedon averaging 16.6 down, and Novich Hunter comes into the ball game. Outlaw came up with the ball. He's called for a travel. Good call again by the officials on the floor. Now we'll get our first substitution as Bron Holland sits down for LaSalle. Ted Fiore questioning the call. And checking into the ball game for LaSalle is number 34, Ray Schultz, 6'9" junior.
One thing I know Ted wants to do is pressure Neubauer. I think they feel he might be the weak link in their offense, handling the ball.
Outlaw guarding Woods. It's been Jack Hurd's show so far. Leavehurst gets the roll again, so they're getting points from Leavehurst and Holland. They've had 6 already here, and they lead 16-6.
And Milko has to be played. That time Veterano just backed off and basically gave him that shot.
This is not what St. Peter's wanted. It's tough to come back against LaSalle.
We talk about, perfecting the defense. Being committed to it and want to play it is different than perfecting it. Yep. Veterano, I don't know that he was either committed or perfected in that last exchange.
Outlaw's been open most of the time. Got it inside. The freshman Hunter forces it up, no good. And the rebound, Schultz knocked away by Hunter. Outlaw again will try to go inside. And deflected out of bounds. It'll still be St. Peter's ball. So they're getting some turnovers and some offensive rebounds. That's what's keeping St. Peter's somewhat in the ball game right now.
They're only down 10. It could be worse.
They have not shot well. And remember, we mentioned they are the lowest scoring team in the league.
Okay, Leroy.
Now Antoine Allen will sit down. And Jose Mejia, who we saw earlier against Holy Cross, do a good job. The walk-on freshman in the ball game, number 21.
True point guard. He makes things happen when he's out there. I like him as a player. He's going with that no sock look.
LaSalle by 10. St. Peter's has scored only 6 points in the first almost 8 minutes of this first half. Novich Hunter. They've got 3 freshmen in the ball game right now. Inside to Hunter at 6'4". Veterano goes back and he puts it in.
If not for second chance opportunities, I don't know if St. Peter's would have scored it all yet. Their offense are kind of standing around, looking like they're waiting for someone to make something happen. Look how close Novich Hunter is over there on Jack Hurd.
Randy Woods missing, gets that rebound. He does that so well. Offensive rebound blocked by Ramey. And the 6'7" youngster from Waterbury, Connecticut with a big block. Timeout on the floor.
Join McDonald's celebration of the Flyers' 25th anniversary season by cashing in on the McDonald's Power Play Payoff. Stop by your local McDonald's restaurant, fill out an entry blank, and send it in. During every Flyers telecast, when the Flyers go on a power play, we'll draw an entry blank. If the Flyers score, you could win a $25 gift certificate to Showcase Stores. And the cash in the Power Play Payoff jackpot. Also, all selected entrants are eligible for the $2,500 grand prize drawing. So hurry and enter the McDonald's Power Play Payoff today.
Time really does a number on your car. At Mako, we're ready to do a number on your car, too. But this number you'll like, 1-800-345-8500. For only half price, a great Mako paint job. Now during our
Mako half-price paint sale. Call 1-800-345-8500 to get a coupon for a $399.95 Mako Supreme paint job at only $199.95. That's half price.
So come on in. For half price, we'll paint the whole car.
This week on the Howard Stern Show, it's Adam West, the old Batman, with Superhero School.
My Robin was never like that.
No. Danny Terry will make some serious news.
You're a total liar.
And, yes, the Head Injury Club for Men with Gary Busey.
Tonight on our show, we have a very special guest.
If you knew Peggy Sue.
And don't forget the best Stuttering John ever, Stuttering John and Mike Wallace. Tune in, the Howard Stern Show.
Tonight at 11 on PHL 17.
Randy Woods is such a good player. Outlaw's doing a terrific job on him. Every once in a while, you need a little help from your friends. Here he gets it from Harun Ramey. Terrific block shot. Just maybe try to control the ball, keep it on the floor.
Jack Hurd has been the story. He has 8 of his team's 16 points so far. Randy Woods with just 1 bucket. He's 1 for 5 from the field. Stop Randy from shooting. Now 1 for 6. Veterano with the rebound.
Woods can do it with the defense, so he might make something happen down this end.
Mejia gets it to Hunter. Veterano travels, and it's a second turnover that he's had in the first half.
Mejia made a pretty good entry pass. I mean, when they get the ball into the blue there, you think that they should be able to get a basket, or at least get a good shot.
They've got a height mismatch here with Mejia against Neubauer, but Neubauer probably won't take advantage of Poston. Veterano got caught in that play. Ramey with his second block.
And Ramey's going to make people think twice about taking the ball to the hole.
Very highly recruited youngster from Waterbury, Connecticut, one of the best freshmen that Ted Fiore has ever recruited here in the 6 years he's been coaching.
He had a left knee problem early on. He didn't play the first time against Holy Cross.
Arthroscopic surgery. Both he and Outlaw missed 5 games. Veterano got a nice pass from the wing from the freshman, and he puts it in. So Chuck Veterano providing the offense. He has 6 of his team's 10 points.
You know Chuck Veterano's the scorer. He's the leading scorer and rebounder.
Schultz tightly guarded by Ramey. Veterano tightly guarding Liebers, and he throws it away looking for a backdoor cut.
Okay, Woods going backdoor that time, and JoJo Outlaw just held on to him.
And that's what I'm sure Woods, Speedy Morris is saying.
Woods and Outlaw will go at it before the day's over. Woods is showing the ultimate in self-control here. He's the senior, so a little more mature than maybe Outlaw.
Both are street guys. Outlaw comes from a tough section of the Bronx, and you know Randy Woods is tough section of Philadelphia, right?
You got to remember, for Outlaw, he's playing against Randy Woods, the best player in this league. A terrific guard. His size, his weight. I think Woods probably a little stronger, so Woods just giving a little bit of a shot there. So that's going to be an interesting matchup to watch.
And so far, Woods only 2 points, 1 for 6 from the field. That's Outlaw. We've got a freshman, 2 freshmen running the ball club right now, Mejia and Outlaw. And another freshman, Ramey, playing inside.
Antoine Allen's on the bench, the sophomore. Production is key.
That's right. Mejia knocked away by the quick hands of Randy Woods, loose on the floor, and Ramey recovers. Mejia penetrates, fishing off nicely to Hunter.
So that's what Mejia gives you, that Antoine Allen doesn't. And JoJo Outlaw, they don't get the ball in the middle of the floor and dish off like a true #1 guard.
6 in a row, and the lead is down to 4 as Neubauer works against Mejia. Lee first out high. Hurd got free from the freshman. And another 3-pointer for Jack Hurd.
See what Ted Fiore needs, he needs JoJo Outlaw to play, or someone like JoJo Outlaw to play Hurd and not let Hurd get a shot. You shut those 2 guys down, you go a long way towards shutting down the Explorers.
Hurd has hit 3 3-pointers so far in this first half. Ramey cut off.
Good defense by Schultz, cutting off the baseline.
Mejia goes out of bounds. And the ball goes over to LaSalle. They'll make substitutions here. Ron Holland will come back in the ball game. Jack Hurd will sit down, get a bit of a breather. Nope, he's going to go to the sideline there.
He's going to take the ball out of bounds. Paul Burke in the game, terrific athlete. Basketball, baseball, football.
Burke averaging 5 points hit, 5 3-pointers in one game against Iona. Came off the bench in that wild game that they blew Iona out and hit 5 3-pointers.
Interesting change now with Antoine Allen playing Randy Woods. That's what we talked about early on, but they both hold Woods as he goes back door.
Burke missing. That's the young man we just talked about. Veterano is fouled as he got the rebound.
Interesting in watching LaSalle's players play. They play with the ultimate confidence. You see Paul Burke just walk on the floor. Freshman walks on the floor. As soon as he touches, launches a 3. Never once did he look over his shoulder and say, uh-oh.
Yeah, Scott Whedon back in the ball game, and they need offense from Scott Whedon to win this game. They're not going to win it, Whitey, without this guy who averages 16 points getting his numbers.
Yeah, has not touched the ball. We compared him to a George Gervin type player the first time we were here against the Crusaders of Holy Cross. Not a factor offensively in the first 9-11 minutes.
Well, it's been the Veterano and Hurd show so far. They've led each team in scoring. Hunter. And he had trapped over there. And knocked out of bounds. It'll still be St. Peter's ball.
You wonder how long Ted Fiore will let Outlaw stay on the bench. He did such a good job on shutting down Randy Woods. And Woods is the kind of player you don't want to let him get started. And Reggie Herron getting ready to come in.
St. Peter's used a lot of people, a lot of lineup juggling with the injuries they've had and other problems. Time running down on the shot clock here. And thrown away. Holland picking it off. Up court, Randy Woods pulling up to the jumper. Continues to have problems with the field, and a good rebound by Whedon. Mejia will push it up. Taken right to the hoop, miss. Whedon, a good save to Veterano. And LaSalle not boxing out well on the defensive boards here.
Second chance opportunities, time and time again. The Peacocks are up on the glass, and again, that's keeping them in this game down 5.
8 for Veterano. Woods again will try. And this time he buries the three-pointer.
Randy Woods is of the thinking, I'm sure, like any good shooter, good scorer, if I miss 10, hey, that just means I'm going to make the next 10, so I'm going to keep on shooting. Outlaw ready to come in the ball game now to play Woods again.
Woods with now 44 three-pointers, so he had Hurd lighting it up from outside. Blocked inside was Hunter Burke, a good play to save it.
Jack Hurd, second block shot.
Doesn't block too many shots. Since Lionel Simmons here ended.
Again, they're not very athletic.
Levers. Travel, and Jack Hurd will turn it over. Time out on the floor right now. The Explorers lead by 8 with 7:07 to go in the first half.
Is America ready for another hero?
Okay. You people sit tight, hold the fort, and keep the home fires burning. If we're not back by dawn, call the president.
A hero for the 90s?
You ready, Jack? I was born ready.
Who kills the bad guy?
Saw the reflexes.
And gets the girl?
She can't get enough of me.
Kurt Russell, Kim Cattrall, and Victor Wong. Big Trouble in Little China. Monday at 8 on PHL 17.
Is bad credit or no credit keeping you from getting a Visa or MasterCard credit card? Well, regardless of your past credit experience, the Bank of Hoven is now your best chance to get a new Visa or MasterCard credit card. Apply for the credit cards that give you the freedom to travel to exotic places, rent a car, receive cash advances, and buy the things you want the most. Operators are standing by, so call the number on your screen now. The Bank of Hoven has approved thousands and want to approve you for your own Visa or MasterCard credit card. Even if you have bad credit or no credit, call today. Do it now.
On the next Street Justice, Boudreaux falls for his new partner.
We could rearrange the sleeping situation.
I don't trust her. But a dishonest cop
See, Murphy took the $75,000. Keep it.
What are you talking about? Forces him to choose between love and loyalty. Hey, maybe she's not bad. Maybe she's just drifting, you know? On the next Street Justice.
Sunday at 7 on PHL 17.
You watched Dikembe Hurd. Watch this. Boom. That's a heck of a block shot, but again, timing is so important for blocking shots, almost as important as jumping.
So play resumes right now, and Ramey will trigger it in. JoJo Outlaw back in the ball game, and he'll work with Reggie Herron in the backcourt. Chuck Veterano, Scott Whedon, and Jerome Rainey will work in up front. Veterano wants the ball inside. Tough pass to complete. Veterano misses. And a foul will be called on Scott Whedon as he battled for position inside.
All the times they've gone to the offensive glass, that's the first time they've gotten whistled for a foul going over the top. Whedon, the only part of the offense he's been involved in is getting second chance opportunities.
So it'll be LaSalle ball. They have led from the outset here, leading by 8. They had a 10-point lead cut to 4. Been in control of this first half, shooting much better. Peacocks have turned the ball over 9 times. Another backdoor play. Woods fine pass to Holland, and he gets hammered.
See, Randy Woods is upset because when he's coming right up that screen, that's when they have to get him the ball. There's just a very small window there that he's open. He gets away from Outlaw. Levers got him the ball a little bit too late. So he got him going backdoor. Really, no chance at a shot, but peripheral vision, and Holland making a good play going to the basket. When you see your star go to the basket, you think he's going to shoot. You have to be going to the basket for no other reason than to get an offensive rebound. JoJo Outlaw, 3 personal fouls.
Holland, a good free throw shooter, misses the first. He's normally a 74% shooter, 20 for 27 coming in. Antoine Allen now will replace Outlaw, who will sit down, as Whitey said, with those 3 fouls.
That's big, too, because 3 personal fouls on him. He's sitting in the last 6:32 of this first half. Randy Woods, I bet, will get much more involved in the scoring.
Absolutely. Holland rolls that one in. So Ron Holland hits the free throw. He has his first point of the night, or make that his 3rd point of the night. Herron, good shooter.
You realize Ted Fiore's already played 5 guards?
We mentioned that they've had a lot of... Look at Randy Woods knocking away. And a foul will be called on Antoine Allen. Randy Wood's got the quickest hands I've ever seen, at least in the last 10 years I've been watching basketball.
He does what Randy Woods can do as a 6-foot player is dominate a game both ends of the court. I mean, he can dominate as a defensive player, take you out of everything you want to do, and certainly offensively, we know he can dominate.
What a game he had against Iona a couple of weeks ago, Whitey. 30 points, 14 assists, 11 rebounds. Like you said, for a 6-foot guard.
Oh, yeah, and he can really rebound because he's committed to it. He tries to rebound offensively, but mostly defensively. He really helps out on the glass.
St. Peter's now in the bonus situation. That was the 7th foul. It'll be on Herron, his first. And there's a look at Randy Woods, averaging 27 points a game. And at the line, the good-looking freshman Paul Burke out of Chestnut Hill Academy in Philadelphia. Real spark. He can really run the floor. He can dunk as well.
They're, again, very athletic. Played 3 sports in high school. Now he, needless to say, being at LaSalle, doesn't play football, but he's still playing baseball.
And he shows a good form from the free throw line. And the lead is up to 11. This is the largest lead they've had. 25-14 is the score, as we're under 6 minutes to go in this first half. Rayford now in the ballgame, number 15. Another guard missing. And a good rebound by Colombo. He and Burke, the 2 freshmen playing for LaSalle right now. That's something Whitey's doing more this year, Whitey, that Speedy Morris is doing more this year, playing more people, not just 7 people as he had been the last couple of years.
Yeah, he has a couple more players. He also has a very good player that's sitting out in Prop 48 that he thinks next year will come in and really be an impact player for him.
Sidney Rayford, number 15. Whedon, who has had some problems here in the first half. Herron. Rayford missing with the left-hander. And Randy Wood blazes up court and gets fouled by Reggie Herron.
Is there any doubt in your mind that Randy Woods is going to take that ball to the bacon? He had it all the way, and he was turning his defender around the whole way down.
Well, Randy, 4th in the nation in scoring, averaging 27 points a game. As he'll go to the free throw line here. An excellent free throw shooter as well, almost 83%, 82 plus.
Speedy says that a lot of the pro people are just really encouraged by watching him play. And we have some people here tonight. You know, the Spud Webbs and the Muggsy Bogues of the world have helped a smaller player. But he's taller than both of those guys, and he has pro-type range, and he has a pro body.
Yeah. Well, he played in the shadow of Lionel Simmons and Dougie Overton, and now this is his year to shine along with Jack Hurd.
Certainly.
By the way, Dougie Overton playing in the CBA, playing for Rockford, and doing pretty well, we understand. Ball tapped away, but Whedon recovers. 14 points only for St. Peter's in a very low-scoring first half there.
Their offense hasn't had much continuity to it. Most of their points of their 14 have come from offensive rebound opportunities.
Chuck Veterano has most of those points. Away from the ball, a foul called against LaSalle. It'll be a non-shooting foul. And Otiki Colombo picks up foul number 1, 15 foul. And we now have another substitution for LaSalle. We'll pick it up for you in a moment. It's Blitz Wooten, number 31. He's checked into the ball game. Another freshman, 6'7", 210. And off the miss, quick outlet by Burke. Wood shaking and making over there against Rayford. Wooten and the senior to the freshman. And the freshman says, thank you very much, senior.
How about that? Is that not a great name? Blitz Wooten.
You know, Speedy says he's the best athlete of the freshman group. That's saying a lot because Burke's a good one. He really likes this kid.
Again, when you're playing with someone like Randy Woods, you have to be prepared to catch the ball at all times. Wooten caught the ball and knew what to do with it once he got it.
Well, he can run, he can jump, he's raw. I think he's going to be a great shot blocker at 6'7". He can really get up.
Again, like you say, Speedy playing a lot of people. Playing great defense, too.
Yes, they are. Right now, he's got 3 freshmen in the game. When can you remember Speedy Morris playing 3 freshmen in the game?
No, you're right.
Herron, a little guard, a good shooter. Really travels there. Veterano, who's been the offense for them, 8 of the 14 points. Good boxing out. Wooten comes up with a rebound.
Wooten needs to put on about 20 pounds, though.
He will. He's 6'7", 210. He could probably go at 6'7", 230 with those spindly legs.
See that? Now, Randy Woods, we just saw him open on the left-hand side there. We didn't get the ball at the proper time.
LaSalle leading by 15. They opened up a big lead against Niagara in their last ball game and then struggled in the second half when Niagara made a run. And another foul will be called, this time against Sidney Rayford, number 15.
Randy Woods puts so much pressure on the defense. Rayford, I mean, he's playing so hard and so close to Woods the whole time, and still, Woods is going to get his points.
Mejia checks back into the ball game. As sitting down will be Reggie Herron. So with all the guards shuffling in and out, what are they trying to get fresh bodies to play Randy Woods?
I think by bringing Mejia in, they're trying to do is get someone to get something rolling offensively.
Yeah.
But in the other case, I think you're right about Rayford and Outlaw playing against Woods.
Time out on the floor. The LaSalle Explorers are rolling. They lead the Peacocks by 17.
It's the big time, the big shots. It's Big Five City Series basketball presented by Sharp's non-alcoholic brew, now at the Spectrum. In the history of college basketball, you know nothing beats the Big Five. Tickets are on sale now for LaSalle, Penn, St. Joe's, Temple, and Villanova games. Don't miss the fast break Sunday, January 19th, when St. Joe's takes on Temple and LaSalle meets Penn starting at 4:30 p.m. Tickets available at the Spectrum box office and all Ticketmaster locations, or call 215-336-2000. The Big Five tradition is alive.
This woman's in bed with a terrible cold, keeping her from all she has to do. None of us want to be stuck with a bed cold. Stubborn congestion, constantly runny noses, rising fevers, aching bodies. But we don't have to give in to a bed cold. There's Benadryl Plus Cold. Benadryl is a name that stands for strength. Strength you can count on to help get you out of bed. Day or night, there's Benadryl Plus Cold. The Benadryl's strong enough for the bed cold.
Got the action night after night.
The Flyers are in the Motor City to try and clip the Norris Division leading Red Wings, led by perennial all-star Steve Yzerman. Don't miss the excitement Tuesday night at 7:30, only on PHL 17.
We play the Flyers on 17.
Scott McGuire from the New York Knicks scouting here. The Knicks are very favorably impressed with Randy Woods. And pretty much every time out, some NBA scouts are here to see Randy Woods play.
You know, Whitey, I mentioned before Doug Overton. A lot of people felt he was going to be a draft pick. Did make. What happened to him? And I know you, of course, followed his career so closely down in Philadelphia, living and working in Philly.
If you remember late in Doug's career, late in his senior season, he stopped playing real well. He got an injured ankle, and Speedy told me the other day that he just did not play very well in the Detroit Pistons camp. They drafted him. They really wanted him. But he just didn't play well, and then they had 12. He didn't play well enough for them to get rid of a no-cut contract.
All right, Wooten threw that one away. Ramey with a running one-hander on the baseline. Maybe reminds me physically of Bobby Johnson. Remember Bobby Johnson?
Left-handed Bobby Johnson.
Who played for LaSalle. What a shooter he was. What a spark off the bench a couple of years ago.
Yeah, Ramey a little bit closer to the hole, though.
Randy Woods working against Rayford. Gets that big pick from Holland. And as he so often does when he goes to the hoop so strong, gets fouled. He's already been to the line this year 73 times coming to this ball game.
What he names himself to do, what he can do is hang up in the air. I don't think he jumps that well, but he has such great body movement when he gets up there. You get him from all sides. He might have got fouled by two people. All he needs is a bump. Ron Howland gives him that bump, and you can see Rayford kind of holding a little bit. Look how much he moves the ball. Makes the free throws too. He's an excellent player, and again, the Knicks need help at point guard. He's a perfect guy.
Good point, Whitey. And you see those numbers, he has been Mr. Consistency. Sidney Rayford picked up that foul. That was the 10th team foul, and the second on Rayford. So the lead is now 17. And we're down to 2:35 to go in the first half. Barry Landry's, Whitey Rigsby from St. Peter's College, where the Peacocks are looking to make it 4 in a row over the Explorers. And as you said, Whitey, revenge on the mind of the Explorers after losing all 3 games last year, including in the playoffs.
3 times. It's tough to lose to anybody 3 times. Randy Woods kind of plays almost like a free safety on defense, too.
They really missed Jasper Walker among the players that they lost off that championship team last year, St. Peter's. And now with 5 seconds on the shot clock. We have a foul called. Non-shooting foul. It'll be the 16th foul.
I think they called it a kickballing to reset the shot clock. I think people, and I'm a big proponent of point guards. I think people don't put enough value in the point guard position. It's so important to a team, especially a team with new players, to make them into a cohesive unit. The coach on the floor.
Well, Antoine Allen now is back in the ball game. We highlighted Allen at the top of the show, talked about they needed leadership from him. Mejia, good pass. Ramey trying to complete the play. And Holland quickly up to Randy Woods. Oh, what a pass. How did he spot Wood?
What he did is he felt the two players playing him. He knew someone had to be open. And I can't believe he had that much forethought to go and know the ball player was open on the right-hand side. But you see as we go down on the break here, who's this making it? Jack Hurd? No, it's the next man down. His man comes out to help out. Ramey comes out to help out. Boom.
And on the receiving end, the freshman
Blitz
once
Wooten.
again. Blitz Wooten getting some playing time here.
He'll be sorry when Randy Woods leaves.
He's played in only 9 games this year, averaging about 7 minutes, and a high of 6 against Notre Dame. Allen will hit the 3, count it, and he had a foul also. Could be a big 4-point play here.
Well, that just breaks your heart from a coaching standpoint. That's why I sit here and not over next to Speedy. There's no way that I'd want my life blood dependent upon that kind of situation. There's a three-point shot and fouled on it.
Freshman mistake, perhaps, on Mr. Burke's part.
Boy, that epitomizes it.
Antoine Allen, 74% from the line, completes the 4-point play. And that cuts the margin now to 15. 35 to 20. With a minute 14 to go.
Well, you make a 4-point play and you're still down 15.
Now they're trying Scott Whedon.
Well, he's a little longer player.
Hurd spots Holland, goes up with the pump fake, gets his own rebound. Ramey to block. That's his 3rd block of the first half, but it'll still be in the hands of the Explorers here. Ted Fiore not very happy.
There are second chance opportunities now. St. Peter's started out the half with a lot of second chance opportunities. Ted Fiore, you said something about him not being happy.
I think not. And Scott Whedon called for the hold. Randy Woods draws so many fouls because he does so many things off the ball as well as with the ball.
Yeah, he does, and I think St. Peter's, one of their modus operandi is to be physical with him, hold him a little bit, push him, try not to get caught, of course.
3rd foul on Scott Whedon, and it's been a disastrous first half, and their second leading scorer has not scored a point yet.
You almost wonder if Ted switched him on to Woods to try to get him motivated and get him into this game a little bit, but now with 3 personal fouls, he's going to have to sit down for the last 54.
Randy Woods with another free throw. He's starting to hit the free throws here. He's hit 4 in a row. And we'll get another substitution. Novus Hunter, number 41, will come back in the ballgame, replacing Scott Whedon in his 3 fouls.
Now, we talked about Betorano being such an offensive force here, and now he hasn't had the ball in quite a long time.
Whedon averaged 21 points in the conference games, and now what's happened here?
They just teed up Ted Fiore. We were both down the other end. That's a big technical foul. They're down 17 points. Randy Woods is going to get 2 free throws here along with getting the ball back.
So Randy Woods, well, looks tell the story. St. Peter's coach not very happy, Ted. A former Seton Hall star baseball player. Looks can kill, can't they, Whitey?
Oh, boy. No comment.
Neubauer with his club leading 39-20, an impressive first half for LaSalle. They average about 83 points, so they're right on target for that, but good defensive job.
They have some matchup difficulties now. They have Rainey playing Neubauer.
And Mejia guarding Burke, giving up some inches there. It's about a 9-second differential between the shot clock, and we'll get a foul outside anyway. Ramey getting called for the foul.
See, Ramey's not quick enough to play with Neubauer. Neubauer was having trouble earlier because they were putting a lot of pressure on him while he was handling the ball. Ramey trying to do the same thing, but Neubauer's going to go past him and then look for either one of his shooters, Hurd or Woods.
Burke will sit down, and Blitz Wooten will check back in the ball game. Freshman for freshman, as Neubauer goes to the free throw line.
Extend this lead to over 20.
He's one of the best in the league, as you see, 86%, 18 for 21, and one of the few things LaSalle hasn't done right in this first half.
Neubauer, another real intelligent kid. Academic All-American candidate.
Dean's List. and a GPA of 3.57 in finance. Made the MAC All-Academic team.
Oh, my. He didn't look good shooting either one of those.
I think we put the whammy on him there.
Imagine having a 3.5 something Q playing college basketball.
Coming up at halftime, you'll get a look at Jack Hurd, a close-up look, as time runs out here in the first half.
St. Peter's wants to hold for one, it looks like.
Verano blocked by Wooten. Verano goes back up, and I'll tell you, this freshman not afraid to go up there, and he's quite an athlete, as I mentioned earlier.
Blitz Wooten, I'm not sure he was the one that committed that foul. He came in kind of late and got the block shot.
Hurd's holding his hands on his head as if, oh no, did I commit that foul? It's going to go to Wooten.
They called it on Wooten. I'm not sure he committed the foul.
8 seconds left as Veterano goes to the free throw line.
Salle will get an opportunity to get another basket. 8 seconds is plenty of time.
And he has 9 points, 9 of his team's 21. No one else contributing here in this first half.
He hasn't scored in a while, though, Barry.
Ramey and Allen have 4 apiece, and that's about it.
A 4-point play.
Back out. Get a bucket here. Time running out. A 3-point attempt by Veterano. Batted up around, no good, and that'll do it for the first half as the Explorers head to the locker room with a surprising 18-point lead. And Ted Fiore says, what do we got to do here in the second half?
It was a surprisingly easy 18-point lead, and it could have been worse. I mean, you think about Antoine Allen's 4-point play at the end of the half, and then the last foul shot by Veterano there, so it could be worse.
So the Peacocks, who've lost 2 in a row, head to the locker room down by 18. We'll be back with our halftime report in just a moment.
We were all tied up on the Delacorte case, unable to identify the mystery blonde. Luckily, Louis was back. A Freedom Zoom kit.
With Minolta's unique eye start, Freedom starts zooming before it even meets your eye. So, when you can't get to the picture, Freedom zooms the picture to you. And fast. Shoot!
Look at this. It's our secretary.
Looks like she takes more than dictation.
Americans choose the freedom to zoom.
Only from the mind of Minolta.
She didn't understand me. I say, let's have a nice white grape raspberry Boku. We're adults, we can choose. Boku is adult flavors. There's no straw involved. We're talking pull tab here. And can you believe she wouldn't even let me go to the juice box aisle? And she'd drive by the supermarket to see if my car was parked outside. I hear now she's seeing a juice box counselor. All I wanted was a Boku.
Boku fruit juice cooler from McCain.
Is that too much to ask?
And Long John Silver, you're gonna get your wish.
Go fish!
Go fish!
Go
chicken!
Chicken?
Chicken! Chicken!
Chicken at Long John's?
Yeah!
Natural tender chicken breast. And right now, our chicken and fish combo is just $1.99.
At Long John Silver, you're gonna get your wish.
Go chicken! Go chicken!
Go fish! Long John Silver!
Andy Griffith.
Golly.
He's ready to clean up the military.
We call it the latrine. Latrine. You might say it's the captain's hobby. He inspects it every chance he gets.
From country bumpkin to Air Force recruit, he's the man in charge.
In charge? Why do they send all the bums and the idiots to my barracks?
Sure must be a mess.
Andy Griffith.
Latrine ready for inspection, sir.
No time for sergeants. Sunday at noon. They were adversaries, light years apart. Marooned together on a hostile planet. What began as a bitter hatred
I don't love you and you don't love me.
became a mutual struggle for survival.
This planet don't kill us, we're gonna kill each other.
Dennis Quaid and Louis Gossett Jr. from the director of Das Boot and the never-ending story, Enemy Mine. Sunday at 2 on PHL 17.
Welcome to the Marine Midland Halftime Report. Let's work it out together. I'm Barry Landers back here at Yanatelli Center on the campus of St. Peter's College, where things are not very bright right now for the St. Peter's Peacocks. They trail LaSalle 39-21. And right now, let's join the St. Peter's locker room and Coach Ted Fiore.
What we're talking about in practice, we're saying we have to finish. And we're in practice, and we're throwing floaters and turnarounds and twisters and so forth. When we do throw the ball inside and we have an opportunity to finish, we miss shot after shot after shot. without even getting to the foul line. Okay? So we want to throw the ball in. We want to throw the ball inside. And we want to attack the inside. But when we do, it becomes fruitless because we can't finish. We don't get a foul, we don't get anything. Then the second thing, in terms of penetration, we're looking to get, dribble penetration. Well, some of you are scared to death to make dribble penetration. I mean, the thought of making dribble penetration, I don't know why. I don't know what the hell it does. It scares the hell out of us. And then, of course, to make the dribble penetration and then make the secondary pass, I mean, it's just become out of the question. So consequently, our offense is stand on the perimeter, throw the ball around the perimeter, throw the ball around the perimeter, throw the ball, and anybody's afraid to make any kind of aggressive attacking move to the basket. It's just stand, pass, and if we do throw it in, we turn around and throw up some kind of a flyer. So we're not running offense. We've got guys that our guards are not doing a thing for us. They're not throwing the ball in enough. We're not dribble penetrating enough. You're not making any shots. What the hell are we doing on offense? It's ridiculous. There is no kind of attack. We're not getting anything out of any kind of transition. We get the ball, we're throwing elbows, we're keeping people off it, instead of getting it out and see if we get something in transition. So offensively, we are not attacking anything. We talk about wanting to dribble penetrate or penetrate via the pass. We're not getting anything. It's just stand around. Afraid to take a shot. We're actually playing like we're afraid. So, I don't know what to say.
Well, Ted Fiore with some pointing comments in the locker room as his club trails 39-21. One reason why his club trails is the play of Jack Hurd. The MAC Player of the Week has had an outstanding first half. 3 3-pointers, 11 points. And earlier, my colleague, Whitey Rigsby, had a chance to chat with that star player.
Jack, you're one of the fortunate people, I guess, that has been able to mix academics and athletics. I mean, you're extremely successful on the basketball court, but in the classroom, you're an academic All-America, 3.4 cum. How do you manage to mix the two?
Well, I think if any Division I player is going to be able to do something like that, I think what you have to do is first get a lot of support from the school. At LaSalle University, we have a great program. We have, tutors, we have an academic advisor, and such things like that. And you really have to take advantage of all those things if you're going to be successful in both ways, because you're missing so much class with basketball. So it's really a necessity to have, that support with you. So if you need a little help in a paper, or you need a little extra help studying for a test, maybe you missed a couple of classes, you're going to be able to have that.
Did you feel from the beginning, jumping from high school into college, there was no real difference with the academics, or did you have to work much harder and you need much more in the way of support systems?
Well, I think I was a little rare in the case that my high school is very good, and you really need that background. Education's kind of like a staircase where each step at a time. And if you come into college, you don't know the basics of math and all those things, and you're going to struggle obviously a lot more than a guy who has a good background in high school. And I was fortunate that way, where my high school teacher really prepared me, taught me how to study, gave me different methods to study and learn how to memorize, things like that. So when I got to college, it wasn't really as much transition for me, but I could definitely see struggling if you don't have that type of background.
Now, basketball-wise, you played with some terrific players at LaSalle. You played for a terrific coach in Speedy Morris. Life after Lionel Simmons, life after Doug Overton, it's kind of the Randy Woods and Jack Hurd show now.
We don't like to think of it that way, but yeah, I have had a pleasure, here at LaSalle, where I have played with some great players, and this year's nothing different. Playing next to Randy Woods is truly a pleasure. He makes everyone on the team a lot better. Things we have to do this year, it's going to take a team effort, and we need that inside help. We need, all 5 guys on the court working, as one whole. And, we've had that in some games, but other games we haven't at all. So we're still kind of, progressing throughout the season, and hopefully we'll be able to peak in late February.
You're certainly prepared for the future academically, doing so well in the classroom. How about athletically? Would you like to try to get it to the next level?
Oh, yeah. Obviously, every kid has that kind of dream to play at the next level. Realistically, I don't think the NBA is a great chance for me right now. I'm hearing a lot of interest from NBA teams, but there's so many places in the world to play right now. It's such a great sport, and every country out there is looking for players. So I hope I can land a spot maybe somewhere in this world. And if not, like you said, my academics are there, so I could hopefully get a job too.
Last comment, quick one. 2-word answer. What kind of coach is Speedy Morris?
Great coach.
Quite a young man, and Ted Fiore is going to have to defend him and the rest of the Explorers as they trail by 18. We'll be back with take a look at the halftime stats and highlights in just a moment.
This is PHL 17 Philadelphia.
It's the biggest thing to happen to sci-fi ever. I love the characters. I love the aliens.
I love the special effects.
Captain Picard is my man.
What if I told you Star Trek The Next Generation is now available on video, and you could own your first 2-hour episode for just $4.95?
I'll take it.
Star Trek The Next Generation on video cassette for just $4.95? Wow.
Just $4.95?
I love this show.
Now you can own Star Trek The Next Generation on video cassette, beginning with the 2-hour series premiere Encounter at Farpoint. Yours for just $4.95.
Geordi is so cool.
Well, you gotta love Data.
Call now and begin collecting your favorite adventures, your favorite episodes.
My favorite? Haven. Data lore.
Heart of Glory.
Start now with Encounter at Farpoint. Yours for just $4.95.
Just $4.95? How do I get it?
Call now to start your collection. Get your first Star Trek The Next Generation video cassette for just $4.95. Call now.
You got to own it.
Where's the movie playing?
I don't know. Where's the paper?
I don't know. Where'd you put it?
I don't know.
To find your favorite movie, you don't even have to know how to read. Just be smart enough to call Movie Phone.
Welcome to Movie Phone. The movie you selected is playing at the Fairtown Cinema. Showtimes are 7 o'clock.
Daddy, the movie starts at 7. I found the paper.
Where are my glasses?
I don't know.
Call 222 Film, your what, where, and when guide to the movies.
Tired of hearing about what you can't eat?
Bite into a healthy slice of life.
McCain Helios presents a new kind of pizza. Healthy slices. 97% fat-free and low in cholesterol. So don't say no.
Bite into a healthy slice of life.
Mozzarella cheese, delicious tomato sauce, mushrooms, broccoli, peppers, good green veggies. Don't wait.
Bite into a healthy slice of life.
McCain Helios new Healthy Slices Pizza from McCain.
An overworked lawyer.
I'm out of here, babe, because it's kicking the life out of me.
An undercover cop.
Lure of easy money. Very hard to refuse.
A city where the bad guys have taken over.
My client will make bail.
And the good guys are even worse.
You cops, you're the best that money can buy.
Peter Weller.
You're gonna miss me when I'm gone, babe.
Sam Elliott.
Plan on taking down an army?
Shakedown.
Sunday at 4 on PHL 17.
With the LaSalle Explorers leading 39-21, let's take a look at our halftime stats brought to you by Marine Midland Bank. Well, Whitey, as we take a look at the numbers, we see they're all in favor of LaSalle. The turnovers for St. Peter's certainly have hurt them. Great shooting by LaSalle, poor shooting by St. Peter's. Just a total disaster if you're a St. Peter's fan, and looking good if you're LaSalle.
If you don't shoot well, you don't rebound well, and you see the shooting percentage, 48% for LaSalle, and that's throw in a 2 for 9 for Randy Woods, even though he has 15 points. Free throw line, 13 of 17. That's really helping out. Turnovers, 11 turnovers. You're looking at 22 for the game. And LaSalle didn't do anything real pressure defense. A lot of those were almost unforced errors.
Well, a lot of the errors certainly ended up in fast break baskets, and a lot of fouls drawn by Randy Woods in particular. As he went to the line, did not shoot well. As we take a look at the individual scoring, Randy Woods with 15 points, but he shot only 2 of 9. Jack Hurd was 4 for 5 from the field for his 11 points. And Chuck Veterano did not shoot well, 4 for 10, and nobody on St. Peter's shot well. And what about Scott Whedon? What happened to him?
Oh, Scott Whedon has 3 personal fouls, too, but he was a total non-factor offensively. And I was with the LaSalle Explorers on Thursday, and they talked a lot about Whedon. How are we going to stop Whedon? Whedon can really hurt us offensively, put up big numbers, but he has been a no-show so far. And defensively, with the 3 personal fouls, that's going to hurt Ted Fiore in the second half of basketball, along with Outlaw's 3 personal fouls.
Indeed.
Outlaw did a terrific job on Randy Woods early on, but when he went out, Randy Woods ended up living at the foul line.
Buddy, let's take a look at some of our first half highlights, pretty much LaSalle highlights, as we take a look right here.
This is one thing Jack Hurd does as well as anyone. He went on the bottom side of the screen that time. You leave him open, he's going to make the 3, period. And also we saw Randy Woods doing this time and again here in the open court, but he gets himself up in the air, and in this situation he was getting fouled. Great internal ball handling, or dishing off, in this case, to the freshman Blitz Wooten. Blitz Wooten blitzed him for 2 buckets. Nice dunk right there.
Well, the LaSalle Explorers, Whitey, hope to do better this year in the MAC tournament than they did last year when they were upset by St. Peter's, looking for another championship. And speaking of the championship, the MAC championship will be decided, of course, this year at the Marine Midland Bank MAC Championship. And that'll be on March the 6th through March the 9th at the Knickerbocker Arena in Albany. The winner advances to the NCAA tournament. For ticket information and to order tickets for the Marine Midland MAC postseason basketball tournament, call 518-487-2088. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
Minolta introduces the world's only true autofocus binoculars. When you hold the AF button down, you hold continuous focus and never miss a second of the action. The world's only true autofocus binoculars.
Only from the mind of Minolta. Albany, the capital of New York State, in the capital Saratoga region, discover its many advantages. From historical architecture to today's futuristic Empire State Plaza. Join us for our many family events and festivals along the scenic Hudson River. Professional sports abound and are one of the many year-round attractions. Or spend an evening enjoying the performing arts, from Broadway quality shows to symphony orchestras. Be our guest. For information, call 1-800-622-8464.
Is America ready for another hero?
Okay. You people sit tight, hold the fort, and keep the home fires burning. If we're not back by dawn, call the president.
A hero for the 90s?
You ready, Jack? I was born ready.
Who kills the bad guy?
Saw the reflexes.
And gets the girl?
You can't get enough of me.
Kurt Russell, Kim Cattrall, and Victor Wong. Big Trouble in Little China. Monday at 8 on PHL 17.
Who's got the action night after night?
The Flyers are in the Motor City to try and clip the Norris Division leading Red Wings, led by perennial All-Star Steve Yzerman. Don't miss the excitement Tuesday night at 7:30, only on PHL 17.
We play the Flyers on 17.
You see the Explorers getting ready to head back on the court with an 18-point lead. They come off a couple of big wins in Buffalo. Speedy Morris likes the way the club is playing and said, no, they blew a couple of games earlier this year that they should have won. They lost that Siena game at home by 3 points. They should have won that. Then he looks at a couple of other games. The Princeton game, they lost by 1. He said we could be maybe 9-2 instead of 6-5.
When I saw him the other day, that's exactly what he said. He said we should have beaten Siena, we should have beaten Princeton, we should have beaten Notre Dame. All 3 games they should have had made a big difference in the feeling about this team right now, but these are the games that really count, these elite games, and I'm sure he would like to beat Siena at home.
All right, we'll reset the lineups for you. That's Liebhurst, 44. He'll work up front with Holland, 51, and Hurd, 25. Woods, good pass to Holland, and blocked as he went inside by Ramey. And again, St. Peter's picking up a lot of fouls, and LaSalle, not normally a team that goes to the free throw line that often, getting fouled here quite a bit.
What you missed on the replay there is Randy Woods making a good backdoor cut. When you're being played that tightly on the perimeter, you have to go backdoor, and the passer has to look for that backdoor play. Once Woods beats his man, he's going to make something happen. He's going to somehow finish the play.
Holland will get another free throw. He has a nice touch for a big guy from the foul line.
Ron Holland is big and square.
He's 2 for 3 from the line. Young man from Bangor, Pennsylvania. Senior averaging 8 points.
Transfer from St. Bonnie's. It's a little bit too cold, a little bit too chilly in Olean, New York.
We know what it was like to be up in Western New York. We were up there last night, Whitey.
I didn't know cold in my life until last night.
Antoine Allen and freshman JoJo Outlaw working the backcourt. Scott Whedon is number 3, along with Chuck Vaterano, 52.
LaSalle going a little bit of zone now, just try to change it up a little bit.
Ramey with that rainbow jumper.
Speedy feels that Ramey could hurt. Ramey can put up some big numbers, and so far he has scored pretty well. Not too big a factor on the rebounding end.
That's something you wouldn't have seen perhaps in the past. Holland firing from outside. Jack Hurd with the opportunity basket.
See, when you come from a guard position, a perimeter position, you can see where the ball's coming off the rim. Hurd read that play perfect.
13 for Hurd. That's a dangerous pass. And Allen, good catch. Yes, it was. Just able to get it away from Jack Hurd. The offense in the first half. Ramey missing. Battles for the rebound. Hurd quickly up to Randy Woods. Good body control by Randy Woods on the left side, banking it in.
The entire time I thought he was going to come back to Hurd on this side of the floor, and you nailed it. Body, 22-point lead for the Explorers.
It's only 3 for 10 from the field, but picking up the numbers on the free throw line. Antoine Allen missing from outside. Veterano reaching over the back as they boxed out well that time, LaSalle.
Hey, you see, what Hurd does, intelligent play, boom, you get the ball to the middle of the floor to the guy who can handle the point on the break. And I really thought Woods would come back. It was kind of 2-on-1-ish, if you can't call the results.
And if you heard Ted Fiore in the locker room, he said, we're not doing that. We're not getting the ball out on the break effectively.
He especially had bad things to say about his guards. Played 5 guards, none of them did anything other than Alamo played good D.
The Hurd miss, an offensive rebound picked up by the milkman, Levers, off another miss outside this time from Neubauer. Hurd came up with it, so they're getting the offensive rebound. Look at that move by Woods. Levers battling, but Ramey comes up with the ball. Now let's see if they convert on this break here. 4-on-2, and they throw it away. Hurd goes out of bounds trying to save it.
That's a great play there by Hurd, stopping the fast break. And don't think that Ramey's the one that Ted Fiore wants as his point guard on the fast break. But that goes back to his guard. Someone has to take charge out there. So Ramey's not the ideal at 6'7" middle position player.
Way off Veterano. And they look like Iona of last night that we saw up there against Niagara. Just totally out of sync here. A talented ball club in search of some leadership out on the court.
Exactly. The one difference is that Iona is known as a guard-oriented team, not necessarily a point guard-oriented team. And I think Veterano is a little frustrated. He's frustrated because he's not getting the ball much. He's their leading scorer, but he's not getting the ball much in good position to shoot it. And that's where it comes down to your point guard.
Veterano picked up the foul. That is the 3rd team foul. And now we'll get a substitution as Scott Whedon will sit down. And for the first time, we'll see big number 50 checking into the ball game. A guy who's played some good basketball this year, Marlon Lewis, another freshman from South Shore High School in Brooklyn.
And Whedon has to be talking to himself coming out of the ball game now. 3 personal fouls, hasn't scored.
Positions. It inside, but good defense as Lewis had it knocked away. Hurd back the other way, scoops it up and in. You know, the pro meanwhile you're watching Randy Woods, but what about Jack Hurd as a potential pro?
I don't think he will make it to that level. He'll make some money playing basketball, but not as a pro in this country.
Time out on the floor, and Speedy Mars' club is speeding their way to a 49-23 lead.
On the next Street Justice, Boudreaux falls for his new partner.
We could rearrange the sleeping situation.
I don't trust her.
But a dishonest cop.
Say Murphy took the $75,000. Keep it.
What are you talking about? Forces him to choose between love and loyalty. Hey, maybe she's not bad. Maybe she's just drifting, you know? On the next Street Justice.
Sunday at 7 on PHL 17.
Introducing the sweeter side of Wheaties, new Wheaties Honey Gold. If you make it, they won't eat it. Because people are hungering for the crispy flakes of corn and whole grain wheat that make it Wheaties. Hungering for that delectable golden honey that makes it Honey Gold. New Wheaties Honey Gold, the sweeter side of Wheaties.
Is this heaven?
No, it's breakfast.
New Wheaties Honey Gold, the sweeter side of Wheaties.
This week on the Howard Stern Show, it's Adam West, the old Batman, with Superhero School.
Robin, my Robin was never like that.
No. Danny Terry will make some serious news.
You're a total liar.
And, yes, the Head Injury Club for Men with Gary Busey.
Tonight on our show, we have a very special guest.
If you knew Peggy Sue.
And don't forget the best Stuttering John ever, Stuttering John and Mike Wallace. Tune in, the Howard Stern Show.
Tonight at 11 on PHL 17.
You talk about a terrific passer, but watch the catch and finish by the 6'7" senior from Lidditz. That's a pretty good play. Woods will get the kudos for the terrific C and the terrific pass, but a great catch and finish by Hurd.
It's been all LaSalle in this ball game as Mejia gets it inside, and Lewis gets the bucket, and freshman to freshman. And maybe
Ted Fiore says,
I'm going to go with my kids here.
He's down a whole bucket of points. Here's the other angle, and I see a terrific pass and seeing the floor. But Hurd had to slow down just a little bit. A touchdown's a touchdown, I guess, but he didn't get him right in stride.
Foul was on Holland, his first, and the first team foul. Lewis unable to complete the three-point play, and as Ramey came up with the ball, a foul will be called on Ron Holland. Ramey's a real quick jumper.
The comment about the ball came out a little bit long because Lewis missed so badly.
His second foul on Holland and second on the team. Veterano in the corner. Ramey going baseline, and the freshman from Waterbury, Connecticut. 8 points on the night. Holland over to Levers. Holland will try the baseline jumper. And Outlaw with the rebound. Freshman will push it up court. Pull up for the jumper. And look at Levers wrestle that one. Getting back Mejia. Oh, what a no-look pass to back.
See, right from the beginning, when Randy Woods caught that ball, he saw Jack Hurd. So he never had to look back. He knows Hurd. He knows Hurd's going to come with him the whole way. I knew Woods was going to pass the ball right as soon as he caught it because he saw Hurd. The defender did not.
17 for Jack Hurd, who's averaging almost 19 a game. But over the last 5 games, he's averaged 26 points a game. Ramey coming alive here in the second half.
I think Ramey's a pretty good player. Plus, he's playing the point on this zone press. He's long. It makes it difficult to throw it over or around him.
Ramey in double figures, coming off a 16-point effort against Iona. Only starting for the 4th game. Blocking foul against Mejia, and he questions the call.
Watch on this replay now, Barry. Watch Woods when he catches the ball. He's looking back towards his player. He sees Wood immediately. Boom, there he sees Wood. Never has to look at him again. And Mejia didn't even know Hurd was in the play. Didn't even know he was in the play because of he's watching the eyes of Randy Woods and didn't see him look back.
That last foul on Mejia, his first and 4th on the team. And there's an out-of-town score. Manhattan has now won their 5th in a row, beating Siena up at Siena 81-66, Whitey.
We'll have Manhattan Tuesday night. They're a pretty good ball club.
Manhattan has won 5 in a row, and they improved their MAC conference record to 2-0. And Siena falls to 4-2, and Ted Fiore not happy.
He's got to give him a Bronx cheer there. Like we finally got a call. He's down 22 points. He needs more than calls in the last 15 minutes.
That wasn't a Bronx cheer, was it?
Jersey City on this side of the water.
Oh, Woods stole the ball. Well, folks,
that's Barry standing up there.
I didn't see you move, Whitey.
I knew I saw my peripheral vision. I saw you go after the ball.
You look for those little point guards, folks. Here we are. Ramey in the corner. 2 freshmen working as the point guard and shooting guard. Mejia drops it. A walk-on from New Jersey, Hudson County product. Gets the bucket. Hurd will trigger a 3. And maybe a 4-point play. And Chuck Veterano with his hands on his hips says, how do you stop a guy that's on fire?
Usually when you press, you serve 2 purposes. Sometimes you're going to make some steals, but more often than not, you're not going to make steals. You're going to wear the other team down and force them to take a shot like that. A bad shot, generally, you think. But in Jack Hurd's case, just like Woods, those are the shots Speedy wants him to take. Those kids miss those shots. They don't look over their shoulder. They know the next time up, they'll do exactly the same thing. When I talked to Speedy the other day, I said, what drives you crazy? He says, guys not taking open shots. He wants them to take those shots.
21 points for Jack Hurd. He's 4 for 5 from 3-pointers tonight.
How often do you see 4-point plays? We've seen 2 in this ballgame.
He's shooting close to 50% from 3-point range, and the number that he takes, that's incredible. Ramey. It's been the Ramey show for St. Peter's here in the second half.
Ted Fiore doesn't want to press any longer. I guess you give up a 4-point play, that kind of does you.
Yep. 12 for Ramey, most of those here in the second half. And Randy Woods launches the 3. He says, I want to get in the act.
He followed through all the way back on defense. That's really the first one he launched and made over Outlaw.
22 points for Randy Woods on an off shooting night. Lewis battling inside and draws the foul. So right now on the court you have Outlaw and Mejia, a couple of freshmen. You have 4 freshmen for St. Peter's out there, and the 1 senior, Chuck Veterano.
And Veterano not really involved in the action. It's more the freshman.
And here's one of those freshmen, Marlon Lewis, at the line, shooting 2 out of South Shore High School in Brooklyn.
I like Ramey a lot, but I think Lewis is a pretty good young player also.
He was an all-city selection. And he's had a problem finishing, but seems to be a little more aggressive tonight than we saw in the first time around against Holy Cross. His high game came against Holy Cross this year, 7 points. Neubauer against Mejia. Lewis stole the ball and will have a foul called on Brian Holland. Quick hands of the freshman, and Holland using his bulk says, I want the ball back. That's the 15th foul and the 3rd on Holland. Check at the 4th on Holland, rather.
Good hands by the freshman.
So Holland will get a seat on the bench.
Like we're playing roller derby there.
And Blitz Wooten will come back in the ball game. Count the basket for Ramey. And the freshman starting to lead the way here, although they're quite a bit of points back.
Playing very enthusiastically. I don't know, the timing is quite right to get too excited on the court after you make a basket. It just closes the gap to 21. But Ramey is playing, but he's the one guy for the Peacocks they have to walk off the court that I'd be happy with.
He's had 10 points in the first 5 minutes and 4 seconds of the second half. As you see his numbers there. Around Veterano will hustle the recovery. Out of bounds, it'll still be St. Peter's ball, so the crowd getting in a little bit. But they still have a huge mountain to climb here, Whitey. Oh, there's a lot of time left, though. 13:48 to go, but they're down by 19. Niagara made quite a run. They were down by 20 up in Buffalo the other night. They cut it to 5 and had a chance to cut it to 2. They blew that opportunity, ended up losing by 18. Now here's Chuck Veterano.
That's a big move. They need Veterano involved. I mean, he's the senior out there now with all of these pile of freshmen.
11 for Veterano. And his first bucket here in the second half. Come back against Randy Woods like that.
Well, that'll quiet the crowd. It almost looks like he could probably score anytime he wants to. 21-point bulge.
Yeah. Going away. On break. Neubauer makes the right choice.
Oh, I didn't think Neubauer saw it. Wooten come down on the left-hand side. Blitz Wooten runs the court very well.
Blitz Wooten coming up with that bucket.
Those guys might see each other a lot over the next 3 or 4 years. Wooten and Ramey, similar-sized players.
That's right. Real fine athletes off what we've seen tonight. 16 points for Ramey and 12 here in the second half. He's been the total offense for St. Peter's here in the second half.
Outlaw committed a foul here.
Yep. Randy Woods will take it right to the hole.
He's trying to stay on the floor in the second half. He had the 3 fouls in the first half, but he's not doing as good a job. That and the fact that Woods, I think, just is heated up now.
Outside to Mejia.
Another Peacock turnover.
Certainly hurt him in the first half.
When was the last time they were down 23 on their home court this late in the ballgame?
Well, last year they crushed LaSalle on this court. LaSalle sure remembers that.
Good box out by Marlon Lewis.
Woods finally missing one here in the second half. Mejia trying to go. Timeout. The Explorers by 64-41.
I was afraid of the unknown, afraid of Boku. I'd heard rumors. My best friend practically had to drag me to the juice box aisle. He said, trust me, it's Boku, it's fun, it's 100% natural, 12 ounces. Have an apple peach. I said, okay, I'll try an ounce. Sure, 12 ounces later, I wake up at the bus station with Boku tattooed on my arm. Sorry, Mom. Oh, I'm kidding. Have a Boku.
Boku fruit juice cooler from McCain.
Is that too much to ask?
You don't need the discomfort of your period. The Tylenol, Advil, or Midol 200 only leave pain behind. You still may have tension and water gain, so do it right. Take Pamprin. It relieves pain, tension, and water weight gain. Pamprin, period relief, not just pain relief.
No opponent is tougher than pain, but you can stay in the game with Flexol. When one pain-relieving gel is endorsed by the athletic trainers in pro football, baseball, basketball, and hockey, you know it's the best.
Flexall, the pain relief pro trainers recommend.
This week, be sure to tune in to It's Showtime at the Apollo. Taped live at the Apollo Theater in New York City, It's Showtime at the Apollo is the hottest names in music and comedy. And the outrageous fun of Amateur Night, featuring this week's guests, BB and CeCe Winans, and Donna Summer. Don't miss it.
Sunday at 6 on PHL 17.
Here are the players in the running for the Minolta Award, given to the player with the highest field goal percentage. The players with the highest field goal percentage most often takes his best shot. And tonight, you are not seeing any of the leaders in field goal percentage, but we have had some dandy shooting tonight from Jack Hurd in particular.
Jack Hurd and also Randy Woods in the second half. 15 turnovers for the Peacocks versus only 6 for the Explorers. That's a big factor in this ball game.
No question about it. LaSalle, with their up-tempo game, usually has a lot of turnovers. But they can play with those turnovers because they take so many shots.
Yeah, they generally do turn the ball over a little more. If they're not turning the ball over and they're shooting as well as they are now in the second half of the game, they're over 50%.
They turn the ball over about 15 times a game. One of the few times you'll see Randy Woods get stripped, but he recovered. 10 on the shot clock. Ramey playing some good defense there. Hurd finally misses, and Ramey doing it all here in the second half.
They ended up not getting a good shot because the ball got deflected into the backcourt.
Veterano tapped it out of bounds after missing. Randy Woods is shooting 6 for 15 from the field. Not good numbers. Jack Hurd, 8 for 11.
And again, in the first half, he was 2 of 9, so it's not as bad in the second half. He's 50% in the second half.
Yep. Burke picked up by Mejia.
See, Speedy wants Burke on the ball because then he can have Woods on one wing and Hurd on the other wing. That's quite a twosome.
Colombo, one of the freshmen in the ball game. Woods loses the ball to Chuck Veterano. Randy turns it over a lot, 36 times, so he handles it so much. That's not the shot that Ted Fiore wants Novich Hunter from the corner. They've got other people that can shoot better, and when you're down by 23.
100 a little closer to the hole, I think.
Yeah.
Haven't seen that Oyango Merriman yet.
Nope. Oh, Wooten got away from Veterano. Lewis tried to double up to help out, but the foul call.
It looked like Veterano was looking for help.
Got it late there. Lewis picked him up.
Just the move kind of happened almost in slow motion. Watch Wooten. It's not like he put it into high gear or anything. He just floated past Veterano.
Now, one of the things that Ted Fiore has always prided himself in, and his teams have always been a good help defensive club. They were good individually, played man-to-man, but tremendous help defense. They're not getting it tonight, and they haven't really been getting it too much this year.
But I think it's easy to be a good help defensive team when you're very good mano-mano, so to speak. Veterano did not play good one-on-one defense right there. I think he shocked his teammates letting his man go by so easily.
Blitz Wooten with 5 points on the night. And has looked very impressive here. The Trenton, New Jersey youngster.
It's nice for Speedy that he can get a real good look at these young freshmen under game conditions. And now he can, as the season goes on, you have to go 8, 9, maybe 10 deep on your bench in certain games. He knows he can get some effort out of Wooten.
Wooten gave him some good minutes in that Notre Dame game. He had 6 points off the bench when they were in foul trouble.
That's a page out of Randy Woods' book right there. Between the legs a couple times, then just kind of hangs and waits for the foul to happen.
Jack Hurd picks up only his second foul, but it's the 7th team foul, so they'll be in the bonus situation as JoJo Outlaw goes to the free throw line. And St. Peter's has not gone to the line very much tonight.
No real problem, I guess, with Jack Hurd's ankle.
Outlaw 3 for 6 from the line.
I was at LaSalle's practice the other day. Jack Hurd had pulled off the floor by Speedy because his ankle was hurting him so bad. And I don't know that I've seen a kid be that upset being taken off the floor for practice. I used to hope that Rollie would take me off the floor during practice. Never would. But Jack Hurd was upset that he got pulled out of practice. That's the kind of kid he is.
Yeah, he's a tremendous kid, and I enjoyed your interview with him. Got a look at this academic All-American candidate. Got a great smile. Very happy young man.
He really enjoys playing at LaSalle for Speedy. It's kind of a 1-4 offense, and they spread the floor a little for Randy, see if he can beat Randy.
Looking it inside to Hurd, trying to post up, lost the ball. Outlaw trying to be too cute, loses the ball right in front of him.
He was trying to do too much, and he had 2 guys that literally had him stopped. The ball is now under my legs here. Mr. Official got it.
Been a rough season for Ted Fiore after the 24-7 season last year.
Well, he's seen how the other half looks now.
The loss tonight will drop them to 5 and 7, equal the number of losses they had all of last year. Wooten showing good look that time, but Randy Woods lost it out of bounds. Randy doing quite a job on Randy Woods. He's doing it at both ends of the court, Randy.
I think Woods was a little surprised he got the ball under the basket so open, and then all of a sudden they converged on it.
Hunter. 4 freshmen in the ball game right now, and a junior. Veterano sitting down right now. The only upperclassman is Scott Whedon, who has not been involved in this game at all. He's trying to get position inside against Colombo.
Ramey's the only guy that's really been effective for the Peacocks.
Well, he's got a nice touch, that lefty. He can play outside and inside. We mentioned earlier one of the highly recruited freshmen that Ted Fiore said, but look how easy LaSalle comes back and gets the
basket. The Peacocks waste 30 seconds, a very valuable time for them trying to get a shot. Ramey makes a terrific shot, and they're enjoying the shot. Meantime, down near the rim, Randy Woods is getting an easy duck.
And Randy Woods quietly has 28 points in this game. Outlaw hitting the jumper. That's something they haven't gotten at all this year, perimeter shooting from their guards.
And Antoine Allen, who you expect to be such a big part of their offense, has literally been sitting almost the entire second half.
Well, we mentioned that would be a key. Randy says, hey, I did it inside, now I'll do it outside. 31 points.
Now there's no way that Ramey thought he was going to load that up. And that's how Woods gets you, because you're thinking you're guarding him, you're saying, no, there's no way he's going to shoot. He was standing about 5 feet from us, came over, tapped us on the table.
That looked like those on the other side of the Holland Tunnel.
Exactly, to pay the toll.
A foul called underneath. Randy, by the way, has a high of 42 against California and a career high of 46 against Loyola Marymount.
Yeah, that wasn't a bad game for the Explorers. 46 for him, 45 for Overton, and Hurd had about 20. They combined for 120 points. I can't do that.
And they lost that game. At the line is Harun Rainey. And he has put on quite a show himself here in the second half as he dropped that one through.
Well, he scored a bucket of points in the second half.
He was MAC Rookie of the Week last week. Had 16 points, 11 rebounds, 4 blocks, and 3 steals in just 17 minutes against a very good Rhode Island team last Saturday.
Based on this game, he might possibly be the Rookie of the Week again. Terrific game, and now he's playing Woods. And again, look, he's 5 feet, 6 feet, maybe 10 feet past the 3-point strike now.
Ramey has 20 points, 16 points here in the first 11 and a half minutes.
There's no way he can play Woods way out there, though. And Woods is happy to let the clock run down a little. Look, wow.
That's the second time that he's able to do it. Timeout on the floor, and we'll be right back.
An overworked lawyer.
I'm out of here, babe, because it's kicking the life out of me.
An undercover cop.
Lure of easy money. Very hard to refuse.
A city where the bad guys have taken over.
My client will make bail.
And the good guys are even worse.
You cops, you're the best that money can buy.
Peter Weller.
You're gonna miss me when I'm gone, babe.
Sam Elliott.
Plan on taking down a homie?
Shakedown.
Sunday at 4 on PHL 17.
Are you tired of being frustrated and lonely while constantly searching for the answers you need? For only $3.99 a minute, the Psychic Friends can advise you about money matters, jobs, love, relationships, or any other problem that's been bothering you. They have the answers you need as their gifted psychic astrologers who will answer your most personal questions anytime, day or night. Don't put off this most important call another minute. Call 900-370-0000 now. This is the help you've been looking for.
It's the big time, the big shots. It's Big 5 City Series basketball presented by Sharp's non-alcoholic brew now at the Spectrum. In the history of college basketball, you know nothing beats the Big 5. Tickets are on sale now for LaSalle, Penn, St. Joe's, Temple, and Villanova games. Don't miss the fast break Sunday, January 19th, when St. Joe's takes on Temple and LaSalle meets Penn starting at 4:30 p.m. Tickets available at the Spectrum box office and all Ticketmaster locations, or call 215-336-2000. The Big 5 tradition is alive.
Hey, you see Randy Woods how far? They're just setting up their offense. Ramey never even put his hands up. He's never played a guy who shot the ball that far out.
Randy Woods continues his onslaught. 33 points now for Randy Woods.
Again, terrific catch. Great body control later in the hole.
Absolutely. 18 for the brilliant senior from Philadelphia. He's putting on a show for the Pro Scouts, although he hasn't shot well from the outside. He's done everything else right.
Making layups, so like that, his percentage will go up.
Hunter with a little 5-footer.
That's where Ted Fiore wants him shooting the ball from.
Yep, that's his range. Ione has been shooting over 65% here in the second half, and they can't cut it in this lead.
Yeah, the turnovers have hurt him in the second half. The turnovers and Randy Woods.
One reason why LaSalle maybe is playing a lot of people besides the big lead, why do they have a game tomorrow playing a Big 5 game?
A Big 5 double dip in the spectrum.
Matiki Colombo gets the easy layup.
One thing you have to be careful with when you play with someone like Randy Woods, that your teammates don't stand around and watch him play. He's such a terrific player and so enjoyable to watch. You have to continue playing and get yourself open for your own shots.
Lewis. And Marlon Lewis, again, showing a little more aggressiveness, going to the hole. That, again, is something that Ted Fiore wants to see.
He's watching Ramey out there do it early. They put Ramey on the bench. He figures I better take over now.
His second personal. 2.
Wilco Lieber's back in the ballgame. He's sat for a while.
And at the line, Lewis. He'll get another try. Young man from Brooklyn. Getting a lot of playing time. Have not seen Oyango Merriman at all in this ball game. Tipped up and in, and Chuck Catalano finally gets some points here in the second half.
Still 24-point balls.
13 for Veterano, only 4 here in the second half. Oh, Colombo, nice pass. Good play on both ends, but Hurd couldn't get it to drop. But you gotta like the way the freshman saw the court and read that play.
Well, that's a set play out of pressure. Neubauer sees the pressure, and I'm sure Colombo, I don't know if it's on his own or not, comes to the middle of the floor to relieve the pressure. And immediately, as soon as he does that, Hurd knows that's my signal to go backdoor. Backdoor is such an old play in basketball. It's not used enough. You see Hurd's upset because he didn't finish the play. He'll go to the free throw line to hit a pair. Get a pair, but in his case, he probably will hit a pair.
So Jack Hurd, who's been averaging 26 points over the last 5 games, having another outstanding game tonight.
It's like a double-edged sword with Hurd because he doesn't get as much notoriety because of Woods, but he's that much better because of Woods. People concentrating so much on Randy Woods.
Hard to believe that Hurd was 1 for 12, had 3 points against Princeton this year. The only team that he's shot poorly against all year.
So when you play Princeton, you play a much tighter game, many fewer possessions. Therefore, everyone's important.
Off the turnover, Neubauer up court. Randy Woods to Jack Hurd.
Randy Woods and Jack Hurd are putting on a clinic now. And again, Woods sees the floor, and that's something the pro scouts want to see, the unselfish play of Randy Woods.
24 for Hurd, 33 for Wood.
So we talk about him being a free safety. He goes for steal. If he misses it, someone behind him gets it. He's open at the other end for an easy dunk.
They have combined for 67 points. We'll make that 57 points. Hunter missing. And quickly they look to push it up. Neubauer, nice layoff to Liebhurst. Contact with Hunter, but no foul. They count the basket. And Woods looking for the strip, commits the foul.
That time Randy Woods was on the right side calling for the ball from Jeff Neubauer. But again, Neubauer's a point guard. He understands who else is coming down the floor. He knew Liebhurst was right with him. Liebhurst with the easy basket.
You know, we mentioned the outstanding games, obviously, that Jack Hurd and Randy Woods have had here tonight, but in the past they've really had their problems against St. Peter's, and it's kind of fitting justice that they're doing well tonight.
So again, Randy Woods, no-look pass, but Hurd finishes the play. We talk so often about that. That's why LaSalle has it. That's why they're winning.
Outlaw will get another one. In the 3 games played last year, all lost by LaSalle, Randy Woods had a total of 32 points. Tonight, in 1 game, he has 33 points, and Jack Hurd had only 22 points in the 3 games.
He has 24 tonight. I talked to him before the game. He was fully aware of that.
Knew the number. Add 2 more, make it 35, and Randy Woods may have a chance to break his record with 5:29 to go if he stays in the ballgame.
That was the first opportunity Hurd had to return the favor. It's getting fun out there for those guys. And Ted Fiore's dying on the bench. He's given up 82 points on his home floor.
That's something they've been doing too much of for his liking. Last year, they were among the leaders in the nation, giving up only 63 points a game.
His team has to play better defense, and I think what he's going to concentrate on after the game. At this point in time, I think he's just happy to get this one over. I mean, a loss is a loss whether you lose by 2 or 32. And now I think the main thing he has to talk to his team about is transition defense.
Absolutely.
The Explorers have had so many easy opportunities.
Well, they got some defense there. Rainey up court, nice pass to Outlaw. He has Hunter with him. Finally, he'll dish it off after making a couple of shake and bake moves. Hunter with 6 points.
It's been the longest 20 minutes of Ted Fiore's basketball life here.
And timeout will be taken by the Explorers of LaSalle. 4:38 to go, and the Explorers are rolling.
Imagine being born with the ability to meet any challenge expertly. That's the wonder of the new Maxim XI from Minolta. With the experience of professionals programmed right in, it responds to any change of speed, or light, or distance automatically for ultimate performance. The new Maxim XI, born experienced.
Only from the mind of Minolta. Albany, the capital of New York State, in the capital Saratoga region, discover its many advantages. From historical architecture to today's futuristic Empire State Plaza. Join us for our many family events and festivals along the scenic Hudson River. Professional sports abound and are one of the many year-round attractions. Or spend an evening enjoying the performing arts, from Broadway quality shows to symphony orchestras. Be our guest. For information, call 1-800-622-8464.
It's the big time, the big shots. It's Big 5 City Series Basketball, presented by Sharp's non-alcoholic brew, now at the Spectrum. In the history of college basketball, you know nothing beats the Big 5. Tickets are on sale now for LaSalle, Penn, St. Joe's, Temple, and Villanova games. Don't miss the fast break Sunday, January 19th, when St. Joe's takes on Temple and LaSalle meets Penn, starting at 4:30 p.m. Tickets available at the Spectrum box office and all Ticketmaster locations, or call 215-336-2000. The Big 5 tradition is alive.
The official basketball of the Metro Atlantic Conference tournament is the Wilson Jet. Wilson, the world's largest sporting goods company, has been a leader in athletic equipment for more than 75 years. When your game demands the best, demand Wilson. And
How
those
about
are the
babies?
best.
12 for 12 from the free throw line. And the shooting percentage has certainly picked up. For the game, the Explorers, 57%. You might say the Explorers have found the basket.
Yeah. They've explored, conquered Jersey City tonight. Woods turning it over there. Here's McGee on a 3-on-3 break.
Ramey back on the floor, picked up where he left off.
What a second half he's had. 20 points here in the second half, 24 in the ball game for the freshman. Back comes Randy Woods, missing. He'll try again, traffic, and he got fouled. So Randy, a tenacious defender, and who's been MAC Player of the Week twice already, coming off his 32-point effort against Niagara in his last game.
This isn't going to hurt his shooting average.
Came in averaging 27 points.
It's not bad enough for Ted Fiore with Speedy Morris.
Well, the lucky number 70. You see it right there. When the Explorers score over 70, you see their record. And under 70, which they did against St. Peter's 3 times last year, you see they lost.
With Keith Morris, Speedy's son, in the game now.
Another walk-on, basically.
Brian Morris is the real Morris. He runs the team from the manager's position. He and my boy Flipper. 2 guys helped me a lot the other day.
He had tried to force it inside, looking for Lewis. Unsung heroes, right, Whitey?
Oh, yeah. Flipper's a good man. I might still be there if he didn't come by with a key.
Andy Wood staying in the ballgame with his 35 points, started by Ramey. India, guarding Morris. A couple of walk-on, tough little guys. Ramey looking for the steal, but the opportunity basket is Latuke Colombo. And Latiki at 6'7" from Herndon, Virginia. I'll tell you, he's got a couple of nice athletes in Colombo and Wooten, and a good one in Paul Burke. 3 good freshmen.
See, again, Randy Woods has to get an assist there. He lost the ball, but still was able to coax the ball over to Colombo.
Woods averaging almost 5 assists a game, by the way.
Another interesting tie-in. LaSalle's team chaplain, Father Robert Breen, married me. Of course, you talk about a guy jumping up the bandwagon. You notice he isn't on the trip. They pray on their own when they hit the road.
Whitey, you saw Colombo play well against Villanova, the game that you broadcast on the radio when Villanova was upset by LaSalle. They weren't playing quite so well.
What I was so impressed by Colombo along with Burke is their confidence, and I think that comes from the top. That comes from Speedy and Joe Mahalik and Randy Monroe, who do such a terrific job coaching these kids and letting them play. Just let them have some fun, and Colombo's a perfect example of that.
Ray Schultz committed the last foul. They'll clean the bench right now as Randy Woods will sit down. And a satisfying moment for Randy Woods after having some bad moments. In fact, in the game here last year, Whitey, he did not score a point. He was 0 for 7 when they were humiliated by 25 points here on this court the last time they played.
Yeah, I think he remembered that, you might say, and I think he kind of made good on that baby. And, you know, for this crowd to cheer for him as he walks off the court is really something. And remember from the beginning of the game, he and Outlaw really were getting into it. And Woods was confident enough to know that when it all shook down at the end, his numbers would be there.
I'll tell you, we mentioned the fact that they missed leadership in the backcourt. They missed Jasper Walker, not only his point guard leadership, but his defense last year, which was outstanding against Randy Woods.
Yeah, and, you know, again, in a game like this, it's difficult to be a point guard in a game like this. When your team's going well, boy, you can be the greatest point guard in the world.
Absolutely.
But when you're losing and not playing well, that's when it gets a little more difficult.
He lost it, but look at him hustle back to knock the ball away on that 3-on-1 break.
Keith Morris has to hold the ball there. He gave the ball up to the big man a little bit too soon.
And Mejia will sit down. Jojo Outlaw is in. And Jack Hurd, another tremendous effort.
Averaging 26 over 5. That average over the last 6 isn't going to dip too much.
And another great shooting night. We mentioned how well he's shooting.
15th on the all-time list at LaSalle. They've had a couple of guys that put some points up there, too.
Shooting close to 50% from three-point range this year. Ray Schultz can't get it to drop. And Outlaw will push it up with 2:24 to go. And the Peacocks trailing in this ball game, being humiliated here at home, 87-61. Ramey missing for one of the few times here in the second half, and Hunter will bury the shot.
Boy, Ramey really has played a heck of a second half. A really good ball game, but in particular, second half. I mean, now he's guarding Paul Burke, point guard.
8 points for Hunter.
Has to be a bounce pass.
Back door.
Has to be a bounce pass, big fella.
Okay, coach. Down-court Outlaw, and he gets fouled. Well, it'll be a week before St. Peter's will play their next game, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of tough practices before they meet Siena next week. Ted Fiore's got to turn this talented team around that really they're right now struggling.
There's just nothing worse from a player's perspective to lose a game by 24 points and have to wait a week to make up for it because the coach can just pound you. If they had a game in a day or two, he'd have to kind of take it easy on them. But he can just really go after them now, and maybe that's what they need. They need a little more cohesiveness, and they need some help from that backcourt.
They're going to drop to 1-4 on this court, where they have always been very tough. And they lost to Iona by 14 in their previous game, so they've dropped 3 in a row right now.
Well, I talked to Tim Camp before the game. He said, how did Niagara beat Iona by so much? I said, Niagara's good. That doesn't make it too easy for us.
It'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow up in Buffalo. A couple of games up there, we'll tell you about it. Ramey continues his on-fire shooting here in the second half. Ramey with 26 points on the night, 22 here in the second half.
Well, he's been their offense in the second half of basketball.
That one missing, Morris missing from the corner, and a foul will be called. Hope you've enjoyed our telecast here tonight, whether you're watching in Philadelphia or elsewhere around the East. Barry Landers and Whitey Rigsby.
Ramey's had just about half of their second half points. They've scored 45 points. He has 22 of them.
That's why the shooting percentage has been so good, because he's been on fire here in the second half. But again, no production from this young man who's coming into the ballgame. The transfer from Central Connecticut, who was one of their leading scorers earlier in the season. Ramey sits down, gives a nice hand, and Ted Fiore will bring it in.
I think this is a class move by Ted Fiore. He's taking Ramey out of the game just so the crowd can give him a cheer. And when Ted's telling him, says, hey, big fella, you did it for me tonight. Do it again. We need this every night out. He brings Whedon back in the game. Usually Whedon would be coming out at this point in time, but Whedon a non-factor.
Federado buries the 3 from the outside. Federado with 16 points, but a very quiet 16 points for Chuck.
Just a non-existent 16 points.
Burke. Colombo showing a nice touch.
Colombo is Dikembe Mutombo's cousin. That's some good stuff.
Yeah, sure is. Federado in garbage time has it knocked away. As Ramey sat down, in the 3 games that he started, 16 points in his previous 2, and tonight 26. This kid is very talented.
Yeah, he's arrived, I think, and he's got certainly one of the best rookies in the league.
Lewis missing, and he's another guy that's shown well here in the second half. Yeah. Marlon Lewis.
You know, if Ted wants to try to find a silver lining here, he's going to have to talk about Lewis and Ramey, that's for sure.
2 freshmen. He's a very good recruiting class for Ted Fiore, but obviously needs help in the guard position. That seems to be a major problem right now in this ball club as Veterano throws it away. Morris will save it. Schultz up court. And contact. And we'll have a blocking foul called. Michael Bergen caught that ball and knocked down Novich Hunter. Ted Fiore says, well, what else has gone wrong for me?
Before 2.
Ted wants to go home. He's had enough.
Well, other MAC games coming up tomorrow. Of course, we mentioned that LaSalle will be playing at the Spectrum tomorrow night against Penn in a Big 5 game. Iona will play at Canisius Sunday afternoon at a 2 o'clock game, and Niagara will take on Loyola.
See if they can continue their winning ways.
A couple of winners from Friday night's games up in Buffalo, knocking heads. Whedon with a turnaround shot. And losing the ball was Colombo, but they say it was knocked out by St. Peter's. And LaSalle will inbound the ball. And that will do it as it ends on a positive note from the corner. Schultz adds to the total, and Speedy Morris will shake hands with Ted Fiore. And Ted says, hey, we beat you 3 straight. You beat us bad. You earned it tonight.
It's a much nicer trip down the old Jersey Turnpike after a win like this. And for Speedy Morris, they're well prepared. They don't have very long to enjoy this win. They drive down the Turnpike, wake up tomorrow morning, pregame meal, and go to another game.
Well, the Explorers go 4-1 in the conference. Their only loss to Siena. Manhattan with a win tonight, 2-0, and Siena drops to 4-2. So Speedy Morris heads off with another victory. Victory number 126 in his 6-year career at LaSalle. We'll be back with some post-game comments in just a moment.
Where do you find all this? If you said the country Columbus first set foot on, you're not only right, you're close. The Bahamas.
Call your travel agent or 1-800-2-CASINO. Your dollar goes further in the country that's close.
The Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference Game of the Week has been brought to you by Marine Midland Bank. Let's work it out together. And by Wilson's Sporting Goods. When your game demands the best, demand Wilson. Barry Landers along with Whitey Rigsby back at courtside here at St. Peter's College. The home fans filing out and watching quite a show put on by the Explorers. We mentioned they were red hot. They had a big lead against Notre Dame, blew it. Came back strong to win the next couple of games, and they're rolling right now as they win this one decisively, 94-71.
Randy Woods, just a terrific ball game. You know, big points, Hurd, big points, but more importantly, they just controlled the game defensively and got themselves and the Explorers so many easy baskets, time after time after time. It was Woods giving the ball to Hurd for layup, Hurd giving the ball to Woods for layup, or someone else along the way. And their defense really made their offense, especially once they got the lead. There was no chance the Peacocks were going to get back in this one.
And let's take a look at our Minolta shot of the game. And our shot of the game, of course, brought to you by Minolta. Minolta with the fine camera.
A great segue about what we were just speaking about. Here you'll see Randy Woods get the pass to outlet from Milko Livris. Again, the other Explorers look for Woods all the time. Woods didn't even look at Hurd. He just knew he was coming. Great left-handed pass. Boom, for the dunk.
Jack Hurd winding up with 24 points. Randy Woods 37. Quite a night for those two as they avenge some of the previous horror shows they've had against this St. Peter's Ball Club. So as you said, a very satisfying victory. Revenge was on their mind. They certainly got it tonight in numbers.
Well, we talked during the end of the game about the performance of Randy Woods and Hurd last season against these Peacocks. Between the two of them, they combined for 54 points in 3 games. Tonight, 24 points for Hurd, about 35 points for Randy Woods, and I think they avenged those 3 losses last season. And Speedy has to go off the court tonight thinking, hey, we're pretty good now. We're ready to play, and it's more important to be good now than it is in the beginning of December. They're getting good now, and they're just going to try to peak towards the Knickerbocker Arena in March.
Well, St. Peter's hopes to get better. They've got a lot of talent, but right now they're not playing on all cylinders.
They really aren't, and they need guard play. Ted Fiore has to really pound on his guards this weekend, this week before his next ball game, because you need to get those guards performing for you, especially when the game's not going well. Everybody, it's great to be a fan when you're a front runner, but you have to do it when you're playing lousy. The guard that can take over a game when his team is not playing well, that's the guard you want to lead your team.
Whitey, one bright note was the play of Ramey. He had 26 points. He played against some tough players tonight, and he looks like going to be a bright star for the future.
You have to feel a little bad for Ramey. Not that this ever happened to me, but here he has probably the best game of his career, and when they go to practice tomorrow, the next day, he's going to get pounded as much as anyone else, and he couldn't have played any better, certainly not in the second half.
All right, we'll see Manhattan coming up next week, and they're going to be interesting to watch and see if they can make a run in this Metro Atlantic Conference, which figures to be a race to see who could stop LaSalle right now. They're red hot.
Well, LaSalle Manhattan's playing very well now, too, as you said, and it'll be 2 of my guys, Steve Lapis, Lapdog, and Paul Cormier in from Dartmouth, so I'm really looking forward to that ball game on Tuesday night.
All right, so that is the story. Once again, the final score here tonight at St. Peter's College. The Explorers of LaSalle 94 and the Peacocks of St. Peter's 71. The Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference Game of the Week is a copyrighted production of the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference and is produced by Global Sports, the new creative leader in sports television. The executive producer of Global Sports is Jim Drucker. Today's game was produced by Larry Roth and directed by Chuck Woodruff. Join us again on Tuesday, January 21st, live at 7:30 p.m. when the Fairfield Stags meet the red-hot Manhattan Jaspers. For Whitey Rigsby, I am Barry Landers saying so long, everybody.